Okay, so if I didn't say this at the beginning, I am Adam Phillips, and I am the CEO of American Business Systems. I was recently promoted from president, so I'm got a lot more on my plate now, but I just am really excited to see all the new products and services that we've been rolling out for our owners, and lots of different ways for them to get their foot in the door and gain the trust with the doctors. And this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit more history of American Business Systems. This is actually a family business that my parents started back in 1994. So it is a family business, and we've got some friends and family members that are a part of the company. I think the slides may be stuck. I'm not sure, but you may want to see if you can move forward there. Oh yeah, let me mention my book real quick. So I've actually got a new book coming out that I am going to be sharing with you guys very soon. It has been sent to the print shop. Print shop, is that what they're called? So we'll have an e-version of this book and also a physical version of this book. But this book is called 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. And it actually was written by myself and one of our partners, Vicki Rackner. And we basically share the top reasons why doctors are struggling so much right now in private practice and ways that they can solve those issues. And a lot of it has to do with revenue cycle management and, making sure that they're, doing every aspect of their revenue cycle management properly. There's a lot of other things that they may not have thought about that are in this book. And what this book is designed to do is simply educate the doctors. And of course, at the same time, you're able to use this book and several other books that we have to simply build your credibility with the doctors that you're out there talking with. And it's just really cool because we've spent a lot of time and effort and money developing all these different tools for you specifically to get doctors and get clients. And so we're going to actually go into that process today specifically on how to get clients. So I'm sure you guys are chomping at the bit there. So like I mentioned, this is a family business started by my parents in 1994. He's passing the torch on to me, and my goal is to just continue to grow this business as much as we can and do everything possible that we can to help our owners succeed. I mean, that's really the reason why I get up in the morning. It's the reason why Jason gets up in the morning, is because we get letters and emails. We don't get letters. We get emails from people telling us about their successes, about the fact that, they're making 3 or 4 times what they were making at their previous job, before they started this business. And that's what we really want to see. There's just so much opportunity out there for you folks. It's just amazing. So this is kind of a little example of the many, many services that you'll be able to provide and solutions that you have being an owner of American Business Systems. So it's not just medical billing. I don't know if you are aware of that, but medical billing is a big part of helping doctors with their insurance claims. That's a big part of what our owners do. But there's a lot of other issues going on in their practices that we can help you uncover by going into an analysis of their practice, which is what we're going to talk about here in a moment. So we'll get into that here in just a sec. Let's see. So if you haven't done this already, you definitely want to go check out our virtual brochure. It's got a lot more detailed information than the primary website. So just go to absystems.com, click on the virtual brochure button. And then when you click on that button, you'll actually see just a little form that you need to put your name and email in there, phone number. And then when you click on that button, access my virtual brochure, it's going to give you immediate access to that brochure, which is it's not a physical thing. It's all online now, of course, but you'll get access to that. And there's actually a research guide in there that you're going to definitely want to download. And it actually is like it's a lot of information. If you're really into reading, it's a 50-page PDF document that goes into all the services, how they work, what type, what you need to expect out of getting into this industry and why you would want to get into this industry, and all that good stuff is in there. So definitely check that out when you get a chance. We're going to give you a couple more reminders here on typing in questions. So as we are going here, please click on that little Q&A button type in your question, and we will get to those questions towards the end of the webinar. We've got a lot of information to cover here, so we'll try to get to them all. Just type them in as you think of them, and we'll go from there. So the whole topic of this webinar is getting clients and walking you through step by step the ABS client acquisition process. So we're actually really excited to kind of give you the in-depth, behind the scenes look on how you actually are going to be able to get doctors interested in working with you. That is probably the number one question that Jason and I both get on the phones from people that we talk with. How do I get clients? Like, that's the hard part. And it is. That is the part that takes the most effort in this. Learning the system, the medical billing part, using the software, that's the easy part. The hard part is getting clients. And we're going to show you how we make it as easy as we possibly can, with all the different things that we help you with. So today on the webinar, I have joining with me my co-host. He's our VP of Business Development. This is Jason Pettit. He's got a lot of excellent information. Thanks for joining us, Jason. And
great to be here.
Yeah. So with that, now that we're jumping right into the meat of the thing here, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thanks, Adam. Happy to be here. And I've got to acknowledge that Adam is at a little bit of a disadvantage. Normally on these presentations, Adam would get a copy of the slide deck with notes to follow, and I forgot to do that. So Adam is flying blind on this presentation, but you're doing a great job not having any of the key points there, Adam.
Thank you. Doing it live.
Nicely done, nicely done. So just as Adam said, today we're going to talk about the sales process that we teach our ABS owners to help them quickly acquire clients. And we split the sales and marketing process into two distinct sides. The first side of the process is going to be getting engagement with potential clients. So that means basically prospecting. How do you connect with the types of doctors that need these kinds of services? And that's a big ask. You're marketing to medical practices, and with medical practices, they're not the easiest places to market to. You kind of think about walking in the door and you've got the receptionist there, that's never going to let you pass. So we're going to go over some of the strategies we have that are much more effective for connecting with the doctor's offices, getting engagement with them, so you can start the process of demonstrating the benefits. So the second part that we're going to go into, the second phase of marketing, is going to be how to walk doctors through the benefits of working with you. And we're going to go into a step-by-step process that we have fine-tuned over more than 2 decades, almost 27 years. Mm-hmm. And we're going to show you exactly how we do it. And we train and support you and help you get your business started quickly. So without further ado, let's launch into step one. This is engagement with doctors' offices. How do you get introductions? How do you work with physicians? And why in the world would they even want to work with you? Here we go. First thing is we need to identify who are your ideal clients. For those of you with the sales and marketing background, I'm sure you understand how critical this question is. If you don't know who your customer is, how in the world can you market to them? There's all different types of doctors and medical practices. You've got specialty medicine, you have general practitioners, you have chiropractors, acupuncturists, holistic medicine, you have durable medical equipment, you have dentistry, you have clinical facilities, you have hospital facilities, you have ambulances, you've got everything under the sun. Who are we looking for? Well, what we're looking for is primarily specialty medicine providers. So what we have found in doing market testing and watching the success of our owners over more than 27 years is we found that some types of specialty medicine tend to get the best benefits from our services. And also specialty medicine, if you kind of think about this here, a cardiologist tends to charge a little more for their services than a general practitioner, family medicine doctor, or especially a chiropractor or dentist or something like that. So we teach our owners to aim for the larger clients with more revenue who get the best results from our solutions. So who is that? What types of specialty medicine do we teach our owners to market to? Well, here's a short list. There's a longer list than this, but these are some of the key specialty medicine types that we're going to target in the marketing for our new ABS owners. You've got all kinds of great specialty medicine practices in here. Cardiology, we've got some owners with some huge cardiology groups. Podiatry tends to be a really hot market for our ABS owners. Pain management, we have some special features in our software that are specifically tailored to pain management doctors, and they absolutely love it. One of those features is we have the ability to e-prescribe controlled substances. Slightly terrifying maybe, but we're able to provide that service to pain management physicians and other physicians who are prescribing controlled substances, and it's able to have them deliver those electronically. It's a much more secure environment. We even have a tool that allows the private practice doctors who are working with these types of medications to download a report that shows all of the different medications that their patient is taking, not just from them, but from all doctors. So they can nip in the bud those little things like, patients who are playing the prescription mill and are going to a bunch of different doctors and trying to load up on these controlled substances. So these kinds of tools are in high demand, and they're very high value for doctors like pain management, chronic care physicians, and things like that. And Adam, anything to add to the target client conversation there?
Yeah, to take a little bit of a step back, I don't know if you specified, but our owners primarily target the small to medium-sized private practices. So if you look at those specialties on that list right there, you'll see how some of them say 1 to 10 providers. Some of them do say 10 plus providers. So that's really where we target our marketing efforts and what we help you with, because several different reasons for that. The platforms that we have work really, really well for the practices with 10 or less providers. And we do have owners that sign up groups of doctors that are in much more than 10 providers, but the rollout and the implementation and the back end work that you're doing is a little bit more difficult when you're just starting out. So we definitely recommend that you go after the small to medium-sized practices in the beginning. And then once you build up your team, if you choose to do so, if you choose to hire people to help you, build your business and do the data processing for you, and even maybe hire sales reps, then that's the point where you can go after the bigger accounts. The other thought that I did want to put in here is, it actually is listed there. I didn't see that. Dental, we just recently broke into the dental market as well. So same goes for dental practices. We recommend 10 dentists in a practice or less, but the system, we have a system that works really well for dental as well. So, and then you did mention that this isn't a comprehensive, exhaustive list. There are other specialties that we can bill for, and you can sign up as clients. But these on this list right here, this means the specialties that you're looking at right here means that they work extremely well with the EHR platform that we have. And in fact, a lot of these specialties, their national association has recommended our platform as one of their top recommended platforms for EHR. Like on the Podiatrist of America website, for example, they recommend our platform. So these are definitely ones that you want to focus on. That's it.
All good points.
Yeah.
So now we've identified the target market. We know very clearly what types of doctors that our owners should be targeting. After you've got your target market in your sights, how do you connect with them? How do you engage with these doctors? This is, as I said, this is an industry that's not the easiest proposition. You can't just walk into doctors anymore and say, hey, my name's Jason. What do you think about me taking over your billing? I think you should leave. That's probably what you're going to get with that type of a direct marketing, cold calling approach, just walking into the office. We know that doesn't work. And I'm sure most people on this webinar probably have no interest in that type of environment. Before we jump into these specific strategies for engaging with these types of doctors, I'd like to introduce you to our world-class instructor. This is our lead instructor, Cynthia Anderson. The reason that we're bringing her up at this point in the presentation is because Cynthia has utilized these strategies and helped fine-tune these strategies over more than 10 years in running her business with ABS. She personally coaches and trains you through 10 live one-on-one sessions. That's a part of your investment with ABS. And she is going to teach these exact strategies, how to execute them, and how to get your first client quickly. All of this comes with our unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. So you're working right with one of the rock stars in the industry. Cynthia is crazy successful. She does speaking engagements. She does consulting work all over the US. She's got dozens of clients. She runs a team of billers. She has all kinds of, she's got all kinds of irons in the fire, and you will absolutely love working with her and being trained by her. Anything you want to add on Cynthia, Adam?
Yeah, just a little background. She is a licensee of ABS. She started in 2008, and she was exactly where you are right now. She was on webinars, wondering what she wanted to do with her life. She went through our training back in 2008, did not have any prior experience at all, and has built a very successful billing business. And she's got it to the point where it's basically running itself. She has all people, doing the work for her doctors that she has, and she just kind of manages the staff. And she is able to take time out of her busy schedule and train other people. She has decided that that's how she wants to kind of pay it forward, if you will, is to train other people on how to build their business just like she did. So we are so glad to have her. And you're going to find out as you go here, we have a lot of people on staff that actually are ABS licensees that have built their own billing business, and it's kind of running itself. And now they're helping ABS with training and support and all kinds of good stuff. So you've got a lot of people that are, out there in the trenches, if you will, or have been, and they know what to do and what not to do. And you're really going to be handheld by these people. So it's just really cool to learn from their expertise. So
yeah, Cynthia's great. Also want to drop one last point here with Cynthia. She actually is on our reference list that we do provide to those of you who are researching a business and trying to make a good decision. I would highly recommend reaching out to her, getting to know her, letting her get to know you. She's going to be the one that'll be training and coaching you. So you might as well connect with her. It's on the list. If you don't already have that list and you're interested in it, contact one of your reps, and they will be happy to provide that. And that's a really good part of due diligence anyway. So getting back on track here, how do you find and connect with these types of practices, our specialty medicine, target physician types? One of the first ways our owners are successful is through business networking groups. Now, the way that this works is you've got dozens and dozens of national business networking groups that can be utilized to broaden your own network. Now, some of our owners come into the business with their own personal network that's already pretty strong. That does happen sometimes. Some of our owners will occasionally be connected to doctors or office managers or nurse practitioners, and they can use those personal connections to get introductions to the doctor's offices and start the process that we're going to teach you here in just a moment. But a lot of our owners have no connections. And so we can help you get set up with these networking groups. You're meeting other professionals. And the idea here is you are working with CPAs, attorneys, business lenders, general contractors, all different kinds of professionals who have doctors as clients. And you can work with these professionals to get introductions to their physician clients. Why would they want to work with you? Simple. You're able to help their physician clients dramatically increase revenue. Most of the doctors that work with our owners increase their revenue 20 to 30% in 90 days or less. So there's huge upside for these business networking introductions. In fact, this is a real quick, crazy story. One of the reasons that I did not send the slide deck to Adam is because I got a brand new puppy, a little golden retriever puppy, and my wife and I were at the vet this afternoon, and the appointment took way longer. And at a certain point I said, I got to be on a presentation. So I said, you're going to have to handle getting the puppy back home. And I got an Uber and jumped in the car. As we're driving down the road, my Uber driver says, yeah, what are you at the vet for? And we kind of started chit chatting. And I said, well, tell me what you do. The guy's name was Scott. And I said, I work in medical sales. I work with private practice doctors. And I said, oh, you don't say, what type of sales? So anyway, long story short, he works with private practice doctors, or he did in his prior career, by getting them hooked up with software platforms. So practice management software, billing software, and electronic health record software. And he represented several different companies. So, I mean, just right in the wheelhouse. So I explained what I did. And as we were sort of getting close to finishing the ride together, I said, hey, Scott, any tips on marketing to doctors? Because he kind of said he had a really successful career and he made a pile of money and now he's starting his own company. And so he's driving for Uber while he's building that company. I said, any tips? He said, yeah. He said, if you want to connect with doctors, the way to do that is through networking. So I swear to you, this happened about an hour ago on the Uber drive over. He said, the number one thing is you need to network with people who are already connected to the doctors, who know the doctors and can help make those introductions. So this is not some kind of, light approach or anything. This is literally how our owners connect with these potential clients. Adam, anything to add in business networking?
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, we could go into a lot of details on what you say and how you present yourself, but that's what you got to go through our training for. We actually teach you the right thing to say, the wrong thing to say. We show you how to present yourself as part of a nationwide network of medical revenue offices, and you process thousands of claims every day. And like Jason said, we're typically seeing huge increases in revenue for the doctors. But I don't know if you picked up on that, but just one kind of quick thing. You're not going to these networking events looking for doctors. You're going to these things specifically to partner up with people who can refer you to doctors. So I wanted to be clear on that. But yeah, we actually go into a lot of detail specifically on what to do when you get to these networking events and what to say and how to behave and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's the number one method that any of our references that you'll talk to, I would venture to say every single one of them would say, yeah, my first client came through networking. Yeah.
It's very, very common. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we also have, in some areas, we will have owners who have success joining physician associations or physician private practice groups. And these are, of course, solid gold if you can find them, if they're in your area. So you would just want to work with our support department and with Cynthia to help you identify in your area if there are any physician groups like that allow non-physician participants. Mm-hmm. If you can do it, boy, those are really, really solid. There's also another way to network where you don't actually have to connect through these business networking organizations. And if we took a quick poll on what's the best way to network online professionally, I bet we would probably have a lot of people guess our next slide. Good old LinkedIn. I know most of us probably have a LinkedIn profile and do a lot of networking in whatever industries that we're in. This is actually an incredibly good prospecting tool for uncovering these relationships that you can develop into getting introductions to doctors' offices. Cynthia is a LinkedIn master. It's crazy. She's so strong on LinkedIn, and she teaches you how to use the same strategies to make these connections.
Yeah, we've got webinars specifically that she has done, that we have done on LinkedIn specifically, and how to actually utilize all the tools properly, how to set up your profile so that it's attractive to people and not just boring. And we've had many success stories through the LinkedIn platform. So yeah, that's another big one. Yep,
it's a good one. The nice thing about that is you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get in your car. You can do it from the comfort of your own home, and it can be highly effective. So one of the last ones we're going to go through in a lot of detail is medical sales reps. Now, this is kind of the nuclear weapon in the toolkit when it comes to sales and marketing, at least in our industry. Medical sales reps are incredibly effective at very quickly being able to help you grow your business. Now, why is this so effective? Well, a good medical sales rep has a very broad reach. A good medical sales rep is going to be connected to dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of doctors, and they can quickly make introductions to your target client, the types of specialty medicine that you're looking for. So when you partner with a medical sales rep, you can say, here's what my target physician type looks like. I'm looking for 5 to 10 doctor group practices in these areas of specialty medicine. And what I would like for you to do is introduce me to the doctors and office managers, help me facilitate an initial appointment so that I can start the process to demonstrate what my solutions can do for those doctors. And the medical sales rep is probably going to ask, well, what are you able to do for these doctors? And again, it's revenue increase and process improvement. We can help these doctors increase revenue 20 to 30%, and we can help them dial in their processes so they're spending less time running around in circles and in inefficient duplication style processes. We can help them get much, much more efficient. So the medical sales rep makes the introductions, and then you go through the step-by-step process that Cynthia and our support department will help you execute. So this is a really, really effective way to grow your business. These are typically pharmaceutical reps, medical device reps, medical consultants. Actually, my Uber driver said that he utilized medical sales reps all the time, partnering with them, and they would trade physician references that they had. Hey, I got this guy that I did this for. You trade me, I'll trade you. And they would, he would partner with medical IT providers, all kinds of different medical providers that they could sort of share their contact database with.
Yeah,
so
no, I didn't pick up on that. Did you say that we're suggesting that they try to hire these medical sales reps or just utilize them as like a referral source or kind of a combination?
Well, we have some owners that do both. We have owners that will, hire a sales rep and put them on a salary. We have found that is not as effective as a full commission agreement, where it's more of a referral relationship, where you're not giving the medical sales rep a dime of money to see if you're not giving them a dime of money until they introduce you to a doctor that moves forward and signs a contract with you. So a full commission scenario. Right. We found that the full commission scenario works much, much better. So it's mainly for introductions. I've heard of a handful of owners that have had success actually hiring and putting a sales rep on salary, but you better be very, very sure that you're hiring a high quality sales rep who's actually going to perform for you. Otherwise, you're just burning money each month they're on salary.
Yeah, and of course we have all of the marketing collateral and educational materials and sample commission agreements, and even if someone wants to learn more about the products, we've got all the different slide decks and different things that you can share with these reps so they can understand a lot better about what you do and what you're offering, and get them kind of excited about it. So it's all there, ready to go for you.
Yeah, a lot of the success stories that we hear of some of our owners who have gone out and very quickly gotten clients, it's medical sales reps is the path that they chose. You are working with sales reps, so sometimes it's a trial and error process. The very first sales rep you work with might not be the star that they present themselves to be if you ever worked with any sales reps. But within 2 or 3 sales reps, you should be able to find one that can introduce you to a lot of potential clients. Also, another thing to think about this is a little more indirect, kind of behind the scenes. When you're utilizing a medical sales rep, they understand how these offices work. So they understand when they take lunch, they understand when the doctor's staff will entertain a sales visit, a marketing call. They understand who the office manager is, what they like to eat for lunch. They already have these relationships developed. So you can get that really excellent, sort of business intelligence. So when you're coming in, you're not blind. It's a nice, warm introduction to your very first step with the office manager. And in just a moment, we're going to shift over to the other section, phase 2, which is what happens after that introduction. But sales reps is a great way to do it. The next section we're going to go into, we're just going to take a quick peek. Of course, those 3 strategies are not the only 3 strategies that we teach our owners. We also have a lot of other marketing strategies. Here's kind of a short list just to give you an idea of what we do. We've got direct contact. We have books and ebooks, Adam's book that he's about to release, and we have several other books that are very, very effective marketing tools. We teach you how to utilize those. Trade shows can be a good place to connect with a lot of private practice doctors and office managers very quickly. You kind of have a captive audience with a lot of them wandering around these trade shows. Classified ads, lunch and learns, setting up educational seminars over lunch where you bring in lunch and you invite local office managers to come in and participate to do continuing education or to learn about a specific part of the industry, compliance things. Those are really effective as well. We even have some direct mail solutions that are really effective. Adam, anything you want to add to these the laundry list of strategies? I think I got most of the big ones, but feel free to add on.
Yeah, I think you just about covered it. The classified ads one is kind of cool. Is you're not placing ads, you're actually looking for medical practices that have placed ads looking for medical billers, and you're able to reach. We show you how to reach out to those folks and let them know that there's better options than hiring an in-house person. So we show you kind of strategies on that. Yeah, the direct mail thing, it's quite expensive. It's probably at the bottom. As you can see, it is at the bottom of the list there in terms of our marketing methods, but there is a right way and a wrong way to do direct mail. And we kind of explain that. We show you how to send things in packaged in certain ways that actually gets them open, gets them into the hands of the doctors and get them around the gatekeeper. Lots of little tips and tricks like that we've got. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. All of these methods are really effective at getting a connection with a potential client. But when you actually are connected with the client, why in the world would they want to work with you? And we've got this very nonplussed physician here who's not excited about what you're having to offer. Why in the world would a doctor choose to use you and your solutions compared to all the other things that they may have access to? Well, you help them become the Superman or woman to their patients. What I mean by that is you're going to help increase their revenue. We've got some incredible benefits with our iClaim billing and practice management system and our electronic health record system. We help the doctor get better results with less effort. And as we're mentioning on this slide, the doctor gets to focus on better patient care, which ends up helping them grow their business more and spend more time doing what they want to do, which is provide that patient care. So real quick, let me just throw in here. I can see there's some activity on the chat. I appreciate everybody letting us know that you can still hear us and that everything is still live. Do feel free to open up the Q&A panel and ask some questions. We will be addressing any questions on these sales strategies and marketing strategies at the end of the webinar here. But the next thing we want to do is, after wrapping up with our step one of the webinar, is we want to go into step two. After you have engaged with a private practice that could potentially be a client, how do you walk that doctor through the different steps to demonstrate the power of these solutions and what they can accomplish in their office? The very first thing that you're going to do, the very first goal that you're going to have, is to connect with the office manager and do some fact finding and get to know the office manager. This can be done over Zoom or GoToMeeting, even over the phone. Some offices allow you, with the pandemic, different states have different requirements and laws. Some states are more open than others. Some doctors' offices are okay with an in-person call, but we still have plenty of offices that are not quite cool with that yet. So some of this has to be done virtually or over the phone. But your very first step when you get an introduction from one of your referral partners or networking groups or any of the other methods is you want to get to know the practice. How in the world can you make a recommendation to your potential customer if you don't know anything about them? So the very first thing everybody's going to ask is, well, what's your billing rate? What's your price? How much can you save me? Hold on just a minute. We need to find out a little more about your office before we start making recommendations. If you put it in the context of a private practice physician, a physician wouldn't make recommendations for treatment or a procedure or for a prescription without doing a very thorough examination of the patient. It's not like you're going to walk in a doctor's office and they're going to say, well, hey, what do you think about hydrochloroquine? Would you like me to just give that to you? Or, I've got a great new antibiotic. Do you want to try it? It's preposterous, right? So you have to get to know these doctors' offices first. That's primarily done through the office manager. And during that first initial meeting that you have, that a sales rep or one of your referral partners helps coordinate, you're able to go through a very thorough questionnaire, ask a bunch of questions. Cynthia and Tim are great at teaching you how to do this. And you're going to gather those key metrics that you need in order to prepare a good proposal. Adam, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, we actually give you tips on, prior to you going to the office and sitting down with the office manager, going to the practice website and doing a little Google searching and doing a little research on them so you can kind of know what they're all about, their specialty, kind of the size of the practice. So you'll have a little bit of knowledge before you even get there. But part of, building the relationship, when you get to the point where you're actually sitting down now with an office manager or a doctor, it's because you've built some level of trust in, sharing the information that we give you to share with them in terms of, the different books that we use to promote and, help educate doctors on, revenue cycle and how to do little different things in their office to improve their practice, whether you do business with them or not. I mean, this is all about positioning yourself as an expert and a consultant, not just some other random medical biller off the street, so they're going to already have some type of idea that this person is offering something a little bit different than most of the people I've, that come into my office and leave me a brochure and walk out, So yeah, that's what I wanted to add there on that.
Absolutely. So you're developing the relationship while you're gathering information about your client. It's two at the same time. It's important to do both because you're developing a relationship that ideally you're going to have long term. Most of our owners keep these clients for years and years and years. It is very rare for our owners to not have a renewal of a billing contract with one of their doctors. They stick around. We do amazing things with doctors' revenue. We help them streamline their processes. They don't go away. They stick with us. So when you're going through this fact-finding and getting to know you phase with the office manager, you're gathering some key data. And this is an example of the practice analysis. Now, we call this the practice analysis. For those of you who have done consultative selling, this is a needs analysis. Think of this like a financial planner. A lot of you might have sat down with the financial planner before, and what's the first thing they do? Again, they don't start just pushing their products on you. They start asking you, tell us about your insurance coverage. Tell us about your debt load. Tell us about your credit exposure. Tell us about your investments, your retirement. What are you invested in? Tell us about the equity in your house. They get a really broad picture of your personal finances, and then they make recommendations for where you're at in particular. That's exactly what our owners do for doctors. They just do it for a little bit different type of financial scenario. So the practice analysis is just like that financial planner process. It's a needs analysis approach, and it allows us to get down to the details of what we can do for them.
And what you're looking at, folks, is the end result of the analysis. So what we actually do is we give you a list of questions, basically, that you're asking the office manager. Usually it's 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. And these questions are basically designed to gather this type of information that you're seeing here on this screen. But what happens is we teach you how to do this. It's very easy. You just write down the answers to the questions, and then you actually will provide that document to our support team, and we're going to help you craft this revenue report and put this together. And we give you a report analysis tool. It's basically like a real fancy spreadsheet for this thing, where you punch in the numbers, and we can guide you through putting all these numbers in, where they go, what each column means, what each line means. And we're going to help you create this end result here that we're going to talk about, when to present this here in a moment. So I just wanted to be clear on how that works. So.
Yeah, this is a really, really powerful tool. This allows you to get into the actual numbers and demonstrate to the doctor to the penny what you're going to be able to do for them financially. And as you can see from the bottom line there, a 58.3% increase in revenue. This is not uncommon. So the revenue increase in this particular case is $10,202 per month for $122,000 per year. This is kind of interesting. Long ago, I was talking with Cynthia, our lead trainer, and it was at one of our live training sessions. And one of these revenue reports was laying down on the table. And I noticed that bottom line, 122,000. And I said, Cynthia, isn't that, I mean, we know we see results like this, but shouldn't we present a little bit lower numbers, just to give people a little more, I guess, kind of realistic expectation? And she said, no, not at all. She said, I've been in business 10 years, and I kid you not, she said, I have never given a practice analysis that had less than a six-figure increase in annual revenue for the doctor. She has never given a practice analysis with less than a six-figure increase for the physician. So these are massive improvements for the doctor. You look at that bottom line as a physician, your next question is, how are you going to be able to do this? And when can we start, right? So once you're at the practice analysis portion and you've delivered that, the next step of process is going to be offering the doctor a software demo. This is a really critical part of our process. We have a partner. Our technology partner is NextGen, and they're absolutely awesome. They help our owners close deals all the time on these demos. They show the doctor the demo. We have a dedicated demo team with NextGen, and over half of the doctors that do a demo of our platform move forward with the contract with you and the implementation of the system. If any of you have had sales and marketing experience that had a demo as one of the steps of the sales process, to have over a 50% closing ratio at the demo is absurd. I've never heard of that. If you have a 10% closing ratio, you're like a rock star in the sales world. This is over a 50% closing ratio. Why is that? Why are we able to get such dramatic results with these doctors, and they're moving forward at that high of a rate? Think about it. We go back to the previous slide. As the doctor gets onto the demo, they're seeing revenue improvement that is off the charts. So they already want to take advantage of these services. Then you circle back around with the demo, and our software is phenomenal. We have best-in-class software. Our clearinghouse is a private clearinghouse. We have features and benefits in our platform that no other platform on the market has. So I'll say really quickly, if you're working with a rep here at ABS and you have not had a software demo yet, definitely ask for one, because some of these features are extraordinarily high value for the physicians. So Adam, anything to add to that one?
That about covered it. Yeah, we do these demos for your potential clients for the life of your business. You're not paying us anything for these. We're highly motivated to help you close the deals with the doctors. And the people that are doing these demos, like Jason said, they're experts. They're in the system all day long. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but we can actually take a look at the revenue analysis, the practice analysis, and we can actually provide that to our demo team member, and we can tailor specifically to their specialty. We can actually focus on the features that are going to make the most sense for that particular doctor and what they're going to care about the most. So the demos are like custom tailored for each doctor that we do. So it's just really, really cool. Yeah. I've been on demos with doctors before where we've got a demo team member doing it and I'm just observing. And some of the features that we have, like the instant eligibility check and the re-verification of insurance right before the patient comes in, right before the claim gets submitted. And there's all these little features that the doctors are just blown away. They're like, wow, I literally heard a doctor say to his office manager, wow, I have never seen that feature before. That's actually really cool. So anyway, get a demo, check it out. It's awesome.
I'll add to that my favorite feature, which is the automatic chart creation. After the receptionist has done an eligibility check with a new patient, they don't have to type in the patient's demographic information. They click one button and it imports all of the demographic information right from the insurance company. That is an untouchable feature. Doctors and office managers see that feature and it's like, all right, take our money. Why wouldn't we have this? So if you haven't seen demo, get one because they're very powerful. Adam, would you like to just drop in and talk a little bit about our newer licensee who has just had great success with that internal medicine group?
Sure. Yeah. I just got off the phone with my VP of support, Tim Warren, and he was sharing with me a success story. We have a lady, I'm drawing a blank on where she's located now, but I don't know if you remember. But anyway, she went through the program just recently, like within the past 2, 3, 4 months. And she has been working diligently and doing the marketing process that we have taught her. She just closed a deal on a large internal medicine practice with 3 or 4 doctors in that practice. And she stands to make a lot of money as her first account on that account. So we're actually going to be setting up an interview with her. We should be interviewing her on one of these webinars really soon. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. So
we're very aware of privacy concerns, so we don't want to mention her by name, but she's very excited. I actually worked with her and her husband when they were coming on board. Lovely people, super nice, very excited to start their business. And they finished their training, I want to say it was like late spring, and started their marketing about a month after that. And first client buttoned up here right at the beginning of August, and it's going to be literally, it's going to be a life-changing amount of income for them. So really powerful stuff. I'm going to mention one more time, I have not seen any questions pop up in our Q&A panel, and we're going to go into our Q&A session here in a few moments. So if you do have questions, please put them in the Q&A section, or if you can't find that, just type them right into the chat window, and we'll get to those here in just a minute. We've got less than 10 minutes left in the presentation here. So we're going to wrap up these steps really quickly. Once you're at the demo stage, you've got over a 50-50 shot at closing this deal with this doctor. So it's really, really solid. The next thing that you're going to do is give a proposal. The proposal is going to show what you're going to accomplish for that doctor, but it's also going to show the billing rate that you're going to charge. That's the formal proposal. And you're going to give that along with the contract either slightly before or just after the demo, depending on the guidance that our support department gives you. Every scenario is different. We try to work with the physicians based on what their needs are and how quickly they want to progress. And sometimes it's more appropriate to give the proposal before or after. So once we give the proposal, the doctor says, looks great, send me a contract, we'll take a peek at it. Our support department partners very, very closely with you to help you dial in the proposal, the practice analysis, the contract. Tim, our VP of support, and his team are just unbelievable at helping you, and they look at a ton of proposals and contracts. They help you dial it right in, get just the right pricing so that you're able to move forward with that physician with the highest potential to get that deal done. Once the doctor accepts the contract, we're going to go into an implementation and training phase. Again, we're utilizing our relationship with NextGen. They're an amazing technology partner, and they have a team that's dedicated to training the doctor and their staff, getting everybody's logins set up, configuring the platform so that it matches the physician's practice. Every private practice is run slightly differently, so you want the software to mirror their processes, and our implementation team can help them do that. Adam, anything you want to add with implementation or the sort of final stages of the sales process?
No, you pretty much covered it, but the people on this webinar might be thinking, well, what am I doing during this process? Does the licensee have a role? What would you say would be their role during this implementation training process?
The licensee's role is going to be facilitation. The licensee, our ABS owner, is going to facilitate the NextGen team walking the doctor and their staff through the steps of implementation. It's really important to be kind of dialed into that. I can see some questions coming through. We've got about 5 more minutes. I think we've covered the basics here. Once you're at the implementation and training stage, you can kick back and have a cup of tea.
You can also join in on those training sessions, by the way, everybody. You can join in those training sessions and learn yourself about the system. So it's pretty cool.
Of course, of course. So just to wrap up, after implementation and training, you're going to move into starting to file the claims for this client. Our support department's going to be holding your hand every step of the way. They're up and running. They're starting to see revenue increases, and our support department is helping you manage the operational side of it as you get comfortable with that first new client. And it's really critical to have really good support during that process. So that wraps up our presentation. We looked at both sides of the fence here. We looked at how to engage with doctors' offices, identify your target clients, and get those introductions to start the sales process with the office manager and the doctor. And we went through all the steps that our owners use to move forward. Now, last thing I want to throw in here is, what are the measures of success? What do we see from our owners? Most of our owners get their first client in 60 to 90 days. You can generate about $25,000 to $35,000 a year at a minimum from a single doctor practice. The second and third client typically comes as a referral. Many of our owners get the second and third client in year one. This can be a 6-figure business with just 4 clients. You can break even on your investment, get that return on investment in less than a year with just 1 client. It's only $28,000. You make 25 to 35K minimum from 1 client. That's a really fast break even in the franchise world. And again, going back to our demo section of the sales process, over half the doctors go under contract after the demo. So how do you get started? Pretty simple. Contact your sales rep. Get the research guide from the virtual brochure. We've got an awesome YouTube channel. Make sure to ask for that reference list. Get your ABS rep to offer a live software demo for you. We're also happy to share the purchase agreement for you to review whenever you're ready. And your sales rep can help you schedule the funding and the training so you can kick it off with Cynthia and get your business kick-started quickly. Last thing I want to mention before we go into Q&A is we have an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. For any reason you decide that this is not a good fit for you, the business doesn't work, you discover something in training that's just not going to be what you're looking for, no questions asked, we'll cut a check back for the full investment. I challenge you to find another franchise or business opportunity that offers that. So maybe we'll do a little bit of quick Q&A. We've just got a couple of minutes here, Adam. You want to take question 1?
Sure. Well, it's addressed to you, though, so maybe you can take it. I don't know. It says, hi,
okay.
This is from Lewis. Wait, let me click on this answer live button. What does that do? Okay, you'd like to answer this question live. Hi, Jason. What's the major difference between your solution and the competitors out there? What gives me the edge in the market with your platform?
So that's a great question, Lewis. There's a lot of different features built into our platform that no other system on the market has. Rather than try to do that in 10 seconds, get a demo. We can show you those features live on the screen, and that's the best way to do it. I mean, the automatic chart creation is kind of the cornerstone feature. So
to add to that real quick, though, it goes way beyond the platform, Lewis. I mean, all of the trust building that you're doing and the education that you're providing to doctors without any real expectation of anything in return. I mean, that's how you do business these days, is you have to be seen as an expert in the industry, and we give you the tools and the training to be seen as an expert, a consultant in the industry. And that's really what's going to set you apart from the other people that are just kind of, throwing medical billing terms out there that like everybody does. So hopefully,
Adam, do you want to take a couple more questions since we had the hiccup in the middle and lost a few minutes? We can maybe answer a few of these. I can handle the contracts question from Deanne.
Sure.
Deanne asks about the contracts that you use with the physician. So this would be the billing service agreement that the doctor signs with you. That's what stipulates the billing rate that you're going to charge the physician for the services and what you are and are not going to provide as services with that doctor. Yes, the contracts are pre-written. They are applicable in all states. All of our owners use these contracts nationwide, so you can absolutely use those. Do you need your own legal advice, on the side? You're welcome to use your own attorney to review those contracts. There's no problem with that, but we have never, ever had an issue with the billing service agreements. Our owners use those nationwide with zero issue, but you're welcome to use your own legal counsel if you'd like. That's never a bad idea, but probably unnecessary in this case.
Good stuff. All right. Lewis has a second question. Apart from the sales commissions and agents and advertising costs, what other costs must I make provision for on a monthly basis? It's really, really minimal.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
So some things to think about: forming your corporate entity. Most of our owners form an LLC. That's a one-time cost. Depending on your state, that will range between about $300 and $600 with your state fees. We help you do that. Most people use LegalZoom, but that's a little bit of a cost. Your website hosting with your email and domain registration is going to run you around $120, $130 a year, pretty negligible. There could be a small cost if you choose to get a virtual address, like a UPS store or a virtual office address that you can get mail to. Typically, that's going to run you less than $30 a month. So there are some small things, but none of it is required. You can certainly utilize free services, or you can utilize your own home address if you want. We recommend against that, but some of our owners do. There's not really a lot besides that. There's, until you start hiring a team, because you have so much business, you can't process the claims yourself. It's a great problem to have. But until you start hiring billers, there's not a lot of cost to running a business like this.
That's right. It's crazy. I don't know if you mentioned that the list of potential extra costs are in the research guide. Did you mention that?
I did not mention that. That's a great point.
Yeah. So if you guys want to download that research guide, there's a page on, hey, here's some stuff that you might run across that might be an additional cost to you. Some of it is required, like setting up your entity. Some of it is not required, like insurance. So it's all in there. All right, so we've got one from Ahmad here. Is it better to include the doctor's monthly charges for using the software in the percentage charge of running / processing?
I've got this one. I think I know what Ahmad is asking. I'm happy to take it. So I believe what Ahmad is asking is when it comes to what the doctors pay to use the software. So the doctor, if they choose to utilize our iClaim platform, they're going to have a one-time setup fee of $250, and they're going to have an ongoing monthly subscription of $254 a month. That's what they pay to get all these great features in their office for all of their team members. There are two different ways that you can do this. One way is you pass along that cost directly to the doctor. So the doctor is contracted with NextGen directly, and the doctor pays NextGen directly. That's pretty commonly used. The other method would be to roll up the setup fee, the $250, and the monthly subscription of $254, to roll that up into your fee that you charge the doctor, that percentage. It doesn't really matter a whole lot how you choose to do this, but it matters quite a bit why you do it. And you do it for, depending on the scenario with that particular doctor. For instance, if you have a doctor who's extremely objectionable to line item fees on your invoicing, roll up the fee into your percentage. So it's just a simple percentage calculation, and they don't feel like you're nickel and diming them. Occasionally you'll run into that scenario. But on the other side of it, most doctors are more than happy to pay that fee when they see their revenue increases $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month. They're looking at $254, and they couldn't care less. So it depends on the scenario. Our support department walks you through that each time.
Yeah, and they see the money hitting their account directly from the insurance companies electronically. They can see the results very, very quickly. There's full transparency in the system, so they can log in and see exactly where their money is at, where their claims are at. So it's just great because everybody knows what's going on at all times, and they're happy to pay what they owe you, for the work that you're doing. So
for sure.
We've got one other question that came in from Deanne. If you don't have a sales background, is that a problem? Is that a problem, Jason?
Well, not for the vast majority of our owners. In over 27 years of helping people start businesses like this, it's pretty rare that we have salespeople start businesses. Now, sometimes we do. Occasionally, we will have a pharmaceutical or medical device sales rep start their business with us. They do phenomenally. We had a pharmaceutical sales rep who started their business out on the East Coast many years ago with us. He got 13 clients in his first 3 months. So he had a tremendous advantage. He knew a ton of doctors. But for our average owner who's just looking to replace their income and pick up a handful of clients, sales is not required. That kind of background is not required. I would recommend talking with your rep, getting the reference list, and calling and talking to some of our owners and asking about their backgrounds. You'll find that many of them have absolutely no sales and marketing experience and come from backgrounds that honestly probably aren't very well suited for a business like this. But using our strategies, they're able to grow successful businesses.
I did send some references to Deanne, so hopefully she's going to make those calls.
Perfect. Yeah. Reach out to the owners, Deanne. Great question, though.
All right. Well, we had one more pop in. You want to get it, or are we done?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Ahmad, great question. Also, nice to hear from you. I hope things are well for you, Ahmad. It's been a while since we've talked. Do doctors have the choice to use or not use our software if they want to? They absolutely do. We choose to use a very gentle approach when we're talking with new doctors' offices that are potential clients. We teach our owners to present that the doctor doesn't have to use the platform, but we would strongly recommend that they at least get on a demo with our demo team and take a look at some of the features, because most doctors do choose to move over to the platform. If you can get them on a demo, most likely they are going to want to implement the system. They do not have to. We can do what's called a hybrid implementation, where our system can integrate with the doctor's charting system. That does happen sometimes. And in very rare cases, we have some owners who will do the billing on any system the doctor chooses, their current system, or they can change to a different system. Now, they're not always going to get quite the results that they're going to get with our technology, but you can do that in certain scenarios. So they don't have to, but likely they will want to when they see the platform.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Last thing we probably need to mention is next week. It'll change the slide there.
Webinar next week. What does it take to run a medical billing franchise? So we're going to go into a high-level overview of the entire opportunity. We're also going to be sharing you some very specific testimonials and videos and interviews that we've done with some of our owners. So you don't want to miss that one. Go to our website, absystems.com. You can sign up for next week's webinar. That link should be live here at the end of the evening, this evening. So thank you guys very much for sticking with us. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. We should be, we'll probably stick with Zoom for a while, and if we can work through the technical issues there, and we'll see how it goes. But thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jason, for being on here. And we will have this recording posted up here on the website shortly, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.